We are back. We are here. We're ready for the NBA season to be back again. It is the Pub Sports Radio NBA Pub Hub Show. You know it. You love it. Season number 3, if you could believe it, of the Pub Hub Show. And we are back in business and ready for another NBA season. And with me is the original 4, the original gangsters of the Pub Hub, if you will. Ian Cameron, Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham. I've missed these people like you wouldn't believe. I've missed the NBA as well. We've got my guys back, my crew back, and we've got the NBA back. Can't be feeling any better. This is going to be an NBA season preview show. We'll give you our win totals that we like, division futures, conference futures, NBA title futures. How about some season-long props, award props, sixth man of the year, rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, coach of the year. We can get into all that stuff as well throughout the course of the hour here in our NBA season preview show. We are very happy to be back here on Pub Sports Radio. Great to see everyone in the chat as well. We'll be doing things a little bit differently this year. You will only have the 4 of us on the show together once per week this season. On Mondays, we'll be doing a 3-man rotation. The other days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but it'll be a different 3 people every show. But we will be here, the original 4, every Monday throughout the season. And this show will still be on, giving you every game on the board, NBA betting analysis, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, the NBA Bubba. Before we get into breaking down these teams and the season ahead, let's get a first word from everybody and give my voice a rest in the process. Skee, start with you. It's good to see you again. Are you ready for the NBA? I'm sure you are.
Someone got some noise in the background, though, I think. See, there we go.
Yeah, what up? It's good to see everybody. Good to be back. NBA was profitable last year. You know, we all made some money, and I have opinions on. I've made a lot of futures bets, whether it's win totals, divisions, all that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to talking to it with you guys.
Absolutely. And you will see Skee Profit on this show Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays this season here on the NBA Pub Hub, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Dutch, let's go to you, my friend. Yeah, man. Even in my bad voice, I got to be one of those here to get us going. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. Hey, salute to everyone joining us. You know, I'm happy as a motherfucker. We got the association tipping back off tomorrow. We got motherfucking Ski in the building, wearing motherfucking band, and Mr. Babano. It's a beautiful thing. We got guys showing up like Zachary. I ain't seen this motherfucker all summer. It's good to see you, my man. Bo Jackson, as always. Champagne OG in the motherfucking building. I see you, my man. Salute to everyone holding us down. Let them know. Let everyone know. Like, retweet, share the motherfucking video. Do your thing, because you know what we're about to do. We're about to hit them straight over the motherfucking head. Believe it.
There you go. And Dutch, by the way, you'll see him at least 4 days a week on this show, and he'll be doing the hosting when I'm not here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Dutch knows how to host by now. He's not. He's good at it. He knows it. He hosts the Thursday night football live stream every week, so he'll be doing.
Might not drink as much here as we do there. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta make sure you get all the shit done that you need to when you're hosting this thing. Go game to game, be prompt, know how much time you've got, all that shit that I've always got to be on top of. But Dutch will be hosting Tuesdays and Thursdays here on the NBA Pub Up. And Wham Bam, of course, joining us once again. Wham, good to see you. Ready for another season?
Yes, sir. I'm excited, man. New slate, new season. You know, it's a lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff to talk about. Excited to be here with you guys, man. Appreciate the Big Ball Slaughter putting everything together. And Vic, man, on the 1s and 2s this season. Shout out to Vic in the background as well. So, you know, excited to be with you guys, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic in the background. Victor, we appreciate you helping us out producing this great program Monday to Friday. Looking forward to it. Wham will be with us, by the way, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. That'll be his days throughout the week. And I will be here hosting, but just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the show this season. Tuesday, Thursdays are big hockey days for this guy with the hockey card and my other show that I do for hockey. So, and often last year I found that Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've got like 5 minutes to get a bite to eat between the hockey show and the Pub Hub. So I said, you know what, we'll pass on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are smaller cards anyway. for the NBA. So I'll be with you Monday, Wednesday, Friday this season here on the NBA Pub Hub. Let's get into the good stuff now. Season preview. Let's start win totals. First of all, season win totals. Let's start with you, Skee, because you said this was a futures board that you liked. You saw plenty of opportunities on that board. Tell us about some of them when it comes to season win totals.
Well, the list that I printed off, it goes in order of highest win totals to lowest. So, and it also, I like this one quite a bit. So I'll start with the Boston Celtics, and it opened at 56 and a half, and it's all the way down to 53 and a half. And I still like it. Last season, this was my moneymaker. This division, this team, I had them to win the division, like plus 800, plus 900. The win total was 47 and a half, and they went over. They won the division. They ended with 51. Now this year, and that was with all the drama going on in, Philly and Brooklyn. Now they have the drama with the Udoka situation, and they've increased this win total by 9 wins. Like I just think they've increased it too much. With everybody on the East getting better, you got Robert Williams out for maybe like first 2 months of the season, and he was a big part of why the Celtics were even good defensively. They have the 6th least scheduled wins, which pretty much means you guys know by now what Skee likes, the rest advantage. It means they're going to be at a disadvantage a lot of times this season. So 53 and a half, where it's at right now, I can't see it happening. I'll even say like the last few years, I forget the stat off the top of my head now, but it's 31 and 16 teams with 50 plus win totals go under. So under 53 and a half for the Celtics is a look I like quite a bit.
All right, there you go. Of course, you've got lots of drama here. Lots of drama coming into this season with the Boston Celtics. You've got Ime Udoka diddling someone in the organization. That's never a good thing. No question about that. That created some drama. Not that Joe Mazzulla is incapable, but I'm sure he wasn't expecting all of a sudden be the head coach here of the Boston Celtics. So there could be some growing pains, and you always talk. And one of the guys they got, of course, Danilo Gallinari, in the offseason. You see what already has happened with him, just catastrophic. If you're the Boston Celtics, you think this guy's going to be giving you quite that punch off the bench, and now all of a sudden he's out long term. You get I love the Malcolm Brogdon addition. I really did. For Boston, but again, coming over to a new team, you wonder if there's going to be some chemistry that you're going to have to get. So I understand. And look, you're paying a premium with Boston now. You're talking about the defending Eastern Conference champions in the NBA Finals last year. You're not going to get a bargain with a team like that as far as their win total goes. So Skee Profit liking to sell high on the Celtics here under their season win total. Dutch, let's go to you. Is there anything with the season win totals? What do you like?
You gotta hit that thing. You gotta hit that
Good to be
thing.
back in the seat.
The dono train. Vic, hit that dono
man, let's
train.
go, Ice Man. Get it going. Let's go. Come on, find it on that bitch. It's the dono.
We might have to step in and help him out. Do we still have? We better have that dono train.
Man, it's somewhere.
Gotta be
Find
here.
it on that
There it.
Hey, find it on that bitch is funny, bro.
There we go. We'll give you a mulligan on that one.
Hey,
Victor.
run it one more time. Run it one more time.
One more time. All right, Victor. See. All right, here we go, Vic. You know what? You're our new producer. We love you. You're going to do a great job, but we got to rake you over the coals here a little bit. See, you scroll down. It's under video clips, and you see dono. Sorry, little rookie initiation, if you will. Rookie hazing here on the NBA Pub Hub with that. There we go.
He gave it $4.99 to Big Show too. Big Show, yeah. Shout out to the Big Show, my man. We appreciate you though, man. The dono is muchly appreciated. Salute to everyone. Zachary, I see. Yes, it is Medicaid Monday, man. James, I see you as well. Viper, my man. But yeah, man, I'm not really into these future bets, really too much. We did look at some things, but I could only think that my guy, Skee, he's really trying to fade these Celtics. I'm kind of with him. I'm thinking that Gallinari. I like the addition of Gallinari, but then he tore his shit. Unfortunately. Yeah. So You know, I thought they needed a point guard and a 3-point shooter, and they got that. You know, they just unfortunately lost the 3-point shooter and lost their head coach, who, in my opinion, you know, was a stud. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I liked what he got out of these boys. He got in their ass. You know, he held them accountable. He did a couple other things too, but you know, I'm not gonna vouch for that. I'm not gonna vouch for all that. But I thought this motherfucker was one hell of a coach, you know. And unfortunately, it ain't gonna be too much bleed green, you know, from coming out of here. Will we find our spots? I'm sure we will. But overall, they started off real high, you know, and a couple things went real low. So, you know, let's hit that dono train for our guy Dan Kelly though with the $10 motherfucking dono. Muchly appreciated, my man.
Yeah, there we go.
What do you want to do it, Bobano? I got some questions. Go ahead.
He said it's like I'm at a family reunion.
Oh yeah,
it feels that way. It feels like my family has returned after months of absence, and I was left. They left me on the side of the road, and my family came back to pick me up today. That's what this feels like. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Yeah, seeing Zachary back in the chat, seeing some names I ain't seen in a minute, it feels real good. It's very good to see our guy Dan motherfucking Kelly. Good to see Razor Sharp Picks in the building as well. Salute to our guy, a must follow. But yeah, I don't know really how you wanted to do it, Bobano. But I got some Eastern Conference standouts, some Western Conference, some some numbers.
Yeah, we'll save it for the next segment. Yeah,
yeah. When it comes to the Celtics, I agree with my man Skee completely. I really do. I feel like there's a lot of highs still on, and the head coach means an awful lot. And I think they're obviously going to be missing Robert Williams down low. He touched on that. I mean, Blake Griffin is your backup fucking point guard. I mean, power forward, big man, right center. Blake Griffin, right? So this is what they're going to now. I know they still got Grant Williams, but we'll talk about this game a little bit tomorrow, obviously. But yeah, I'm not too high on the Celtics, unfortunately.
I'm glad you mentioned that about Robert Williams. That's big because you got Luke Cornett, Grant Williams. You've got, what are you going to do? Move Blake Griffin into some kind of 5 spot? Like Luke Cornett's not a big time 5, starting 5. No, come on.
They don't have.
And Grant Williams is more of a small ball 5, you know?
Yeah. Go ahead, Skee.
No, I was going to say, I know my boy Wham agrees with me on another under.
For sure. You know, that's the first thing I'm talking about. That's my favorite one.
Speaking
but yeah,
of
I agree with the 420.
Yeah, I agree with Skee. I agree with my guy Dutch there. I think the Boston and Skee was saying this before the news broke about Ime Udoka, so it's obviously he got the edge on that one. But I agree. I didn't get right in there, so I didn't take this one officially or anything, but I do like that look a lot. I think you're going to be able to find good spots to bet against them early on as well, like they were last year as well. Like they started off bad, they finished off the year good, but not having Robert Williams is huge. The game that the team that I like is going to be the team that had the worst off season, and it seems like it's just not stopping, man. James Bouknight just got arrested. They fucking got Miles Bridges beating on his baby mama. They got my boy missing out of the first couple of days of the preseason on Melo, and the first thing he did after the offseason is light a stogie. You know what I'm saying? Light up a backwood. What he shouldn't been doing. Light up a backwood right after they got
those Hornets you're talking about. They're about to get zapped. Yeah.
They're going to get zapped. So I'm on the 36.5 under wins with this team. I just think that they lost a lot. As much as Miles Bridges, fumbled the bag. He was 20 points gone. He's probably not going to be playing this year. As far as LaMelo Ball, he's probably going to be out the first month, it seems like, or a few weeks into the season. And then you're just relying on Kelly Oubre and Terry Rozier. Those guys are not going to play that much defense. You got a guy in Gordon Hayward who most likely probably be traded mid-season or something like that. So, and maybe you're not even healthy. So, shout out to Razor Sharp Picks. We got to hit the dono. Maybe we shouldn't hit the dono because it's not $5. It's $4.99. Maybe we shouldn't hit the dono.
No, $10 minimum. $10 minimum.
Bobano's high. He's out there again, man. He said $10
up that shit up, bro. Up that shit up.
Out there in Canada. I like it.
Hey, that was the rule last year. That's the NBA Pub Rule. $10 minimum dono.
Shout out to AOD with the 420. Air Razor.
Shout out to AOD. Just to clarify, I think they had the worst offseason, man, along with them having, everyone else around them getting better. We know what's going on in the division. We know Miami's going to be good. We know that the Hawks got a lot better. And honestly, I think that the Orlando Magic got even better as well. So I did the opposite. I took the under with 36.5 with the Hornets, and I took the over 26 with the Orlando Magic. I think that the Orlando Magic just going to get a little bit more healthier. Health is wealth. I'm going to start preaching this year. I think a lot of health is going to show the better offense teams. You see Orlando Magic on that right side of getting healthy, also getting the number one pick. So I think that they're going to have more talent than they did last year. So over 26 for the Orlando Magic, under 36.5 for the Hornets. And I got the shirt on for a reason. I'm on the over 44.5 with the Lakers. Now, I know y'all going to think I was just, hey, I lost a lot of money with the Lakers last year. But again, health is wealth. AD is going to be key. Locking in on AD being healthy. We're going to key in on the games that he's available. I think that the defense is going to be a lot better. Now, again, this is not saying that they're going to win the championship or any of that. I did say that. I did tweet that out. I don't know if y'all follow me on Twitter. I did say that.
Really, Wham?
I'm hopeful.
First
I'm
fucking
hopeful.
show of the season.
Listen, I'm hopeful, but I'm not saying that. I'm not
really?
saying that they're going to win the championship. I'm thinking they're going to be over 500, make the playoffs. Patrick Beverly has not missed the playoffs in his career. I don't expect these guys to have Russell Westbrook before Valentine's Day. I think this is going to be a better team towards the playoffs. So I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to for sure go over 44.5 wins. So I took the over 44.5 wins, under 36.5 wins for the Hornets, and over 26 wins for Orlando.
I like the Orlando pick. I think that's a good one. The Lakers are a stay off for me personally. I'm not betting them over or under. That's a wild card team if I've ever seen one. Where it could be a whole bunch of different possibilities, in my opinion, for the LA Lakers this year. No question about that. All right. I'll get to some of my win totals because there's a bunch I like. There's a team we haven't talked about yet, but I like them over their win total. It was 27.5 when I bet it. I think it's gone up to 28.5 now. I like the Detroit Pistons over their win total this year. When I look at the Pistons, I see a team that showed a little bit of improvement down the stretch. I see a team that with drafting Jaden Ivey from Purdue with the 5th overall pick, they've got their backcourt of the future, no question. And they've got a backcourt that's going to be, I think, very good for a long period. That's pretty funny, though. That's pretty good.
No train for that. No train for that.
Bravo. Yeah, bravo. No train for that, but a funny joke. You got to donate $10. It doesn't matter how funny the joke is, but no, that is funny. I will say that. But yeah, I like the Pistons over their win total. I look, Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, I think, has got the potential to be an explosive, terrific backcourt for this team. You know, you saw Sadiq Bey grow leaps and bounds last year. Bojan Bogdanovic now with this group. You've got hopefully they can get some better health from the center position. Bagley is banged up already. Isaiah Stewart, but there's a lot to like here with this Pistons team. Definitely improved. I like the improvement they showed down the stretch. I think Marvin Bagley too. Change of scenery, get out from a loser's organization like the Sacramento Kings. Certainly, I think is going to help him. But now that front court, if you put them all together, they're a little bit deeper there. To me, this has got nothing to do with Kemba. Obviously, we talk about how he was ended up going there, but a situation where for me, I like that backcourt of the Detroit Pistons, no question. And to me, I think they're going to, Cade showed you great growth down the stretch as well. And I think that team can get you 29 plus wins. So I like Detroit Pistons over their win total this year. That's one of the ones I like quite a bit. I don't know, they won't be a playoff team yet, but I think certainly they're going to be a team to watch out for in terms of improvement. As far as a couple more that I'm interested in here, I actually took a little bit of a shot here with Miami Heat under, believe it or not. The Miami Heat. I mean, I don't know what to do with Miami. To me, there's more concerns and I loved Miami last year, make no mistake about it. But, I think to me this year, there's a few more concerns. I think when Kyle Lowry, how many games are we going to get out of him? This is a guy that, misses games due to injuries. He had personal issues throughout last year as well. How much are you going to get him on the basketball court is a big question mark. I think when you look at the landscape of the East, we have concerns about Boston, but they're still going to be very talented. Brooklyn, they got mental issues, mental cases on that team, but we know talent-wise they can put it together. We know Philly's going to be excellent. I think Philly, regular season, they're going to be really good. We question them at playoff time, but regular season they're going to be good. That means Miami might be in for a little bit of a step backward here. Jimmy Butler's not getting any younger, and we know even the injury bug has creeped up on him a little bit here in the last couple of seasons as well. They're still going to be an excellent defensive team as long as Duncan Robinson isn't on the court. Of course that is, but that's another story. And obviously you've got the reigning sixth man of the year Tyler Hero, which was one of the good calls I had last year on the preview show. Was sixth man of the year, Tyler Hero. He had a great season. You got Wham Bam Adebayo in the center position. Bam Adebayo. So you're going to obviously still have good pieces on this team, but when I look at it here, the East is getting tougher. We have questions about whether these guys are going to make it through a whole season. So, and you're asking the Miami Heat right now to win 50 games, and I don't think it's a shoo-in. With Atlanta being a really good team in their own division this year, the Southeast Division, you've got other teams getting better around them in their own division. So I like Miami under 49.5. I think it'll be tough for them to get to 50 wins this year. So there's a couple for me. There's a couple more. I'll just throw them out briefly so we can move on to the futures, but I like the T-Wolves over. They're going to build on certainly getting obviously a rim protector that they did. One of the moves of the offseason, obviously in bringing in Rudy Gobert is going to help. That team couldn't play defense when it mattered. That's certainly going to complement the Edwards and Russell backcourt and Karl Anthony Towns as well. So you got a little more defensive presence in the interior. Should help Minnesota because that was their downfall last year. And I like those Cleveland Cavaliers to be better this year. Now, the question with me with Cleveland, though, is I'm a little more lukewarm because certainly you would think on paper, when you make the kind of moves they've made and you bring in, of course, from the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, you should be a better team. And you look at what they can put out there to Garland and Mitchell as a backcourt, pretty damn good. Karis LeVert played well for them last year. You've got a center position that's insulated with Evan Mobley. Jared Allen, when he's healthy, is a very good 5 as well. So I like Cleveland a lot, but at the same time, there were chemistry issues with Utah. There was some issues that, Donovan Mitchell contributed to that a little bit. So is everything going to translate seamlessly here for the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though talent-wise, this roster looks very good? Not only a playoff team, but maybe capable of surprising in a first round. We'll see. But there's still that lingering doubt that, Donovan Mitchell is coming from a kind of a culture that got to a toxic level, Utah. It got toxic down in Utah last year. It fell apart. Let's be honest. It just completely fell apart. And Mitchell contributed to that a little bit, So can he wipe the slate clean, be a good teammate, deliver on a nightly basis? If he can bring that for Cleveland, that's a good move. But we're still going to wait and see that. But I still had to look at the over a little bit with the win total, simply because I think when you look at the talent on Cleveland, that has the potential to be a really solid basketball team this year. And I can't deny the coaching of Bickerstaff. Really good coach. Did a great job last year. And I think that helps Cleveland as well. So there's my win totals, a few of them that I'm on this year. Looking forward to seeing how that goes. Did you guys have any thoughts on any of those teams I mentioned?
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, me too.
All right, go for it.
Well, first, I agree with Wham on the Hornets under. I know the Hornets are 30th in scheduled wins, so they'll be at rest disadvantage, and they just got nothing good going on. So
I did bet that as well, by the way, Hornets under. I just did Wham already mentioned it, but I am on that as well. Yep.
The Magic, the only thing I didn't like about them was they got the 4th toughest schedule. Other than that, like everything else you guys are saying, that's the only reason I didn't bet that one. A couple more that I put in my pocket. Let me tell you that. I told you I'm down on the Celtics. That means somebody else got to be stepping up over there, right? I like the Nets to go over 50.5 wins. It was 49.5. Like, they had so much go wrong last year. KD missed a big stretch. Kyrie couldn't play home games. So much shit went wrong, and they won 44 games. Like, ask them to win 6 more games this year, the motivated team, I think that's a strong bet. The Sixers, I want to say they've won 51 games 3 of the last 5 years, and some of these years have been shortened seasons. And you have Harden for the second year now. I don't see any reason why they don't win 51 games this year. Other ones, Knicks, their division is maybe the toughest division in the league. They have the 6th toughest schedule. I like them under their 39.5 wins. Spurs, tanking, like them under. Rockets, I don't see them doing too much. They're not going to be able to play any defense or protect the rim. So I like them under 24.5 as well. And a couple more that I want to mention. Pelicans over 44.5. Like, I think this team makes a big step forward. CJ just coming over there, kind of changing the culture, and then you're going to get Zion back too. I like that one quite a bit. And the Nuggets, I think they have the easiest schedule. Joker finally has some help back this year. Just that alone, I think they'll get over 50 wins. So somewhere that I like right there.
I wouldn't argue with any of those.
Mile high, baby. That's a talented roster. When
Oh,
Murray come back, man, watch out for the Nuggets.
Look, as much as Denver was so mediocre and disappointing last year, people forget how good that team is with Jamal Murray and the Joker, Nikola Jokic, together on the court at the same time. I know it's a long ways back. You got to look back to remember that. But when that is the case, that is a team that's right there in the West, a top 4 or 5 team in the West, as far as I'm concerned. So there's no reason I think Denver can't get back to that level this season. You look at it, they've got Contavious Caldwell-Pope, just that good glue team guy that you have now on that team
Bruce
as well.
Brown too. I like Bruce Brown. Like that's playoff basketball guy right there. You know, I like it.
Exactly. Guys that, you want to go to war with in the big playoff games because, they're going to bring whatever their best is to the court every single night in those playoff games. So they've got a bunch of guys like that on that Nuggets roster. They'll be better defensively. And obviously they get Murray back to run the point. I mean, it's just all things are coming together right now to make Denver, I think, big time bounce back type of year for them as well coming into this year. Looking forward to seeing what we get from, and I agree with Skee on New Orleans. Now, I'm still very skeptical on whether Zion plays a full season because of all the setbacks he's had. All we can go on is that he's feeling great, the best he's felt in years, healthy to begin. So that's all we can go on right now. And we just got to assume hopefully he's feeling good and he can avoid injuries. But we also went on that. It's a different sport, but we went on that with Matt Murray. The goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs. All we heard in the training camp is he's feeling great, best he's felt in years. Plays one game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's got a groin injury, and he's out for a month now. So, that's what you worry about with Zion. He's feeling great right now. Everything's great. He's ready to go. Big season ahead, and then 2 weeks into the season, injured, and he's out for a couple months. Hopefully that's not the case, but I'm just saying I've seen this shit before with guys that have just not been able to stay healthy. We'll see if that's the case with Zion. But if he does, I mean, you look at that Pelicanos, as our guy Dutch would say, you look at that roster, CJ McCollum, who came over and made an instant impact. Herb Jones continues to get better. JV in the low post. Alvarado's a scrappy player in the backup point guard spot. Devontae Graham, Brandon Ingram, of course. I mean, that's a really good basketball team if Zion stays healthy and he plays like the Zion he showed glimpses of before he got hurt. It's simple as that. They can be very good. So fascinating.
I got to run it for BI, in my opinion, though, not to cut you off, but I think, having Zion back's nice, but BI the best player on that team, man. And, CJ coming around there, they got to play. They got to run it. Zion just needs to come in and fit in, and now he'll be a nice fit. But I don't think they need to just run the shit through him like they did when he was out there, before his ass got hurt.
No, exactly. They were a pretty solid team and showing signs of it, late last year and getting into that playoff too. And look, given the Suns everything they could handle in that first round as well. Remember last year in that 1-8 playoff series in the West, Pelicans battled the Suns pretty damn good. So yeah, Ingram and McCollum, don't lose sight of those two guys. Don't try to take over, try to be the king of the castle now. If you're Zion, just fit in, just, be another complimentary piece, share the ball. Move the ball. Don't get stagnant. It's not,
that's what
it's
his
enough
game
to go
kind of
around.
is, right? I mean, he's not a guy that you want to give the ball to and just kind of go. I mean, maybe on the post a little bit, but that's kind of his game. Hopefully he stays in shape. I mean, I like the kid. I just think Brandon Ingram's a lot more. I don't want to say a lot more. I just think he's better.
All right, we'll stick right back. Stick with you, Dutch. We'll come right back to you for our next segment. The futures, division futures, conference futures, NBA title futures to win it all. Who have you got your eye on?
Yeah, man. I see. Shout out to Matt Stoney. I see my man Spence in the building. He's liking them Raptors. I believe he put out a big plus number on them Raptors. I'm sure you have a feeling on that, my man. But Bono, Sammy B in the building. I see everybody hit the motherfucking like button. My guy Picks from Dave, leader of the Nerd Nation, said, "What is the strain of the day? This is the first class funk, man." So hit the motherfucking like button like I just hit that motherfucking plane. Get you right where you need to be. Believe it. Appreciate y'all, though. Yeah, man, I really like the Western Conference here. I mean, when it comes down to futures, I don't really bet futures. I'm not going to sit here and just give you guys out all this whole bunch of shit that I didn't bet. Some things that did stand out to me, maybe drop a little tequila money on. I'm really high on, obviously, my guy, Luka the motherfucking Don. If you fuck with me, I fuck with Luka very heavily. I love the Christian Woods addition. He'll be coming off the bench. I love the fact that Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be back. Literally just another addition because he wasn't there, if you guys remember, towards the end in the whole playoff run. So I like it. I like it a lot. Dinwiddie will be coming off the bench as well. I've seen. So I like him off the bench, getting in his, can kind of have the ball in his hand a little bit more, take the pressure off of Luka a little bit. But man, this it's Luka, man. Jason Kidd has proven that he is a good coach. We question that. I believe that he's proven that we can rely on him. And when it comes down to, players like Luka the motherfucking Dom make the difference. You put enough around them. I think with the addition of Christian Woods and Tim Hardaway Jr. being back, the Mavericks are super fucking live. We've seen it, man. Give them 7 games, and hey, you don't know what's gonna fucking happen. So plus 1100 Western Conference. I like it. I do. I like the Nuggets. The Mavericks. We did touch on the Nuggets a little bit as well. I like them a lot. I believe it's plus 725 for the Western Conference. I think that there's a strong chance that the Nuggets stay healthy but that's a big if though, and that's why I don't like these future bets too much. But we talked about everything they had. I love the addition of Bruce Brown. I think that they have the defense players in their starting 5 is literally like fucking perfect if it works out. With Aaron Gordon defensively, just rebound the ball and play defense, bro. They could run the offense through Joker, and he likes to do that as well. Take it off of Murray a little bit, and then you got Michael Porter Jr., who, when he's healthy, man, don't get much better than just a straight up shooter. The guy's got a fucking jumper that's just wet as a motherfucker. So I like this team an awful lot. They got the grinders, they got the fitters. I believe in the coach as well. So if Denver, I believe in that Mile High Advantage home court, if they're healthy, a real basketball team, I think Denver could surprise an awful lot of people. So it's at plus 725. I'm not mad at that as well. But I don't really think there's super value here with the Warriors at plus 300 in the Western Conference. But that's who I believe is going to win the Western Conference. Skee is going to probably love that. But I believe it, man. I think they're fucking loaded, bro. They're going to only be better. So plus 300, it's like, oh, wow, let me go bet that. But, it's plus money. And if things go the way, I don't see how the Warriors aren't the number 1 overall seed in the Western Conference unless they just decide to put it on straight cruise control. I believe Clay will be better. All these young cats will be even better. They got Wiseman in the mix. Kuminga coming back. Jordan Poole's paid. Happy motherfuckers. So, excuse me. But I expect the Warriors, to be there, to be honest with you. Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference to me is kind of like, man, it's like, it ain't that attractive. It's almost like the motherfucking day shit at the strip club, bro. You know how we do it. Like, we ain't even going. I don't even know if I want to go in. But since I'm with my friends, we're going to go in, all right? And we're going to take a look at the motherfucking menu. It's not too nice, but when it looks at it, the Atlantic Division is going to fucking beat up on each other, bro, right? They're gonna. You could count on the Sixers, but you gonna bet on Joel Embiid and James motherfucking Harden? He does looking like he's in some better shape. I like the addition of Harrell off the bench, but still, they have no really size after Joel Embiid. And I don't trust Joel Embiid, especially in the regular season. He will have his moments. So when it comes to the Eastern Conference, man, I believe it's the Bucks, man. There's no one really there to stand in the way. I don't think they fucking did anything to upgrade the team, but I think they're still a team. They're still a nice quality team. So when it comes to playoffs, I'm going to be looking to fade the Bucks. But as a regular season, I could see the Bucks winning the 1 seed plus 325. The reason why I don't have Brooklyn here, because I'm just like my guy Skee. I'm very high on Brooklyn. Is plus 300 ain't good enough for me to even think about the Brooklyn Nets. They're too much of a question mark. So plus 300, I laugh at that. But that does tell me Vegas expects Brooklyn to be a lot better. And I definitely do as well. Royce O'Neal and Ben Simmons, that backcourt, okay, because you can hide Ben Simmons or you can hide Kyrie in that. So we're talking about that. Them two right there, that's damn near elite defense right there. A 6'4", and then with Royce O'Neal playing really good fucking elite defense. In my opinion, he's above average, really a lot above average defense. And then you got Ben Simmons, who's going to prove to you guys, big question mark, but I believe Ben Simmons will prove that he's top 2-3 defenders in this league. So, there's still question mark with size off the bench, but the main thing is KD's mad. All right, KD's mad. Ben Simmons it has looked like he's checked in, and Kyrie got a little disrespected as well. So look for Brooklyn to show up, but nowhere near the price for me. So overall, it would have to be the Bucks at plus 325. But I really like that Western Conference.
In some teams, you can't have Simmons being as poor offensively as he is. With the free throw shooting is a disgrace, and obviously his terrible scoring and shooting from mid-range, long distance, can't do it. But he doesn't have to with Brooklyn. You've got KD, you've got Kyrie, you've got more, and then you've got tons of other weapons
We're
offensively.
bringing
Just
Joe
defend,
Harris and
rebound,
Curry.
facilitate. Yeah, do that.
I mean, they got Joe Harris and Curry coming off the bench. Ben don't gotta shoot,
Yep.
play defense, rebound. You said it, So obviously, and he helps out on the rebounding too. I mean, he's a big motherfucker. I think we forget. If you see him against Giannis, he holds his own against Giannis, who not many can. So I'm excited to watch Brooklyn basketball this year. Shout out to our guy Nets Betts. I know he's pretty excited as well.
Yeah, he should be the perfect fit for Brooklyn. You've got Kyrie, you've got Kevin Durant, you've got Joe Harris, you've got Patty Mills, you've got Seth, not Steph, Curry. You got plenty of off. Don't worry about offense. Just defend because you're an elite defender. Rebound, you're good at that. Facilitate, you're a good passer. Do that stuff. That's good. Other things you can help the team. Other ways you don't have to score. I mean, that's why I think he should fit in well here with Brooklyn. If he has his head out of his
Western
ass.
Conference, Razor. I said Western Conference plus 725 with the Nuggets. Not to win the chip. It's plus 18 though. I ain't gonna lie, plus 1800 to win a chip. But everything gotta fall in Denver's way. But I mean, come on, man. They're a fucking loaded team, bro.
Yeah, no question. Nuggets, definitely, as we mentioned a second ago, we like them quite a bit. All right, Wham, let's go to you for futures, division, conference, NBA titles, futures. What are you looking at?
Yeah, you guys said a lot. I kind of want to come back to the Denver Nuggets since we just left there. They got 12 back-to-backs this season, one of the least. And as far as we know that they're going to have the better home field advantage probably in the NBA. Skee mentioned it. They have the best, have the least, the easiest schedule in the NBA. I think a lot of that has to do with that. Getting guys back like MPJ, I'm not sure if nobody's brought him up yet, but he's going to be a big addition on their defense. Then you think about who was the second leading scorer for the Denver Nuggets last year. It was Aaron Gordon, bro. He's probably like the fourth leading scorer now. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's finding in their role. You got KCP, who had to be maybe the second leading scorer last year as well for the Wizards as well. So, those guys are starting to find in their role of being actually a contending type team. I think you guys mentioned it really easy. Everything is fit perfect for this Denver Nuggets team. But I've seen this story before. You know what I mean? It's just one of those teams that never really get themselves over the hump. You know what I mean? They could get to the Western Conference Finals. They just can't push themselves all the way through the door. So I expect them to make a deep run, but not necessarily too much of a run, especially if they aren't healthy. So health is wealth. Again, I'll keep mentioning that. One thing I did want to mention as far as what you guys are saying, I forgot what the hell it was, but it was regarding to the rest advantage there. Kind of correlates to what I already mentioned about the season win totals, but as far as the rest advantage, the least rest advantage, the Hornets, the most rest advantage with the Lakers. It's kind of like one of the correlations in the picks that I did make earlier in the segment. But in these two segments, I kind of want to wait. I kind of want to wait to make a prediction on the futures as far as divisions, because we don't have to. This is not going to lock, as I would say. Once the season starts, we get to actually see a couple of weeks before we could lock these in all the way, and they're still going to be available. So I kind of want to see where the formation or at least what the rotations are for Dallas, like you mentioned. As far as Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench, maybe they need him to be that second guy for Luka. So maybe he's not a six-man candidate, or for other guys that's available, in other rotations as well. So I kind of want to stay away from making any predictions. But as far as what you guys said about Denver, I think that's totally agreed on all the way around. I think they're going to be a really good team and deep team with guys in their roles finally.
All right, there we go. Good stuff from Wham with his futures. All right, Skee, futures for division, conference, and title. What are you liking?
Well, I want to comment on some of the things that were said. For the most part, I agree with most of what Dutch said.
Hey, wait, run that
for the first time in ages.
Run it back.
For the first time in ages.
Oh man.
No, but I think when I was doing my list, I tried to put three teams from the West. One who I think is going to win, one who I think has a chance to win, and one who's like the value play, like you guys are saying, right, on the East and on the West. And for the West, he named my three teams. The Nuggets, I think you're getting a good price, although I think Dutch needs to line shop a little bit. I think you can get more than 10-1 on the Nuggets to win the conference. But just having all those guys back, having all that firepower is trouble. Not a lot of teams have an answer for Jokic. So as long as he has some help, yeah, they can make some noise in the playoffs. But they're going to struggle because they're not really a good defensive team. So that's where, it may be valuable, but I still don't think they're quite a winner.
They got two. They got two now though. Caldwell Pope and Bruce Brown coming in now. Aaron Gordon. Like
Right.
Those are three pretty above average defenders in my opinion. So
I give you that. We'll see if they get better.
Yeah.
Dallas.
They will.
I like what Dallas has been doing, and we know that Jason Kidd is a competent coach and he can make adjustments, and his team is bought into whatever he wants to do on defense. But I agree with Wham on what he said. Like, you got to kind of wait and see what everything's going to look like put together. So the one team I know we don't got to wait and see anything. We know we're going to get is the Warriors. And this is where I got to disagree, because people saying like 300 is not enough for a future. Like, if you see $100 on the ground, you're not going to pick it up because it's not 1,000. Like, if you see it's the winner and it's giving you plus money, put it in your pocket.
Yeah, the reason why I said that though, Skee, is because who knows if Curry's ankle, if that bum ankle start acting up, come on, man, come on now, but I'm saying I agree that's still plus money though, so but
I have people that are souring on Golden State, not because of anything on the court, it's because of this nonsense and this incident with Draymond and Poole. Forget it. It'll be water under the bridge in a week or two.
They paid
already is.
$150 million or some shit after that, right? This motherfucker, man. If anything, you might see the best Draymond we've seen. God damn it, shit.
The more I think about it, I'm like, this team, like, Steph Curry's getting up there. He's 34. We've seen Draymond. He's not the same Draymond as all previous years. Like, the window for some of these older guys might be closing. And they do have a lot of that young talent, but I think this team as a whole is still going to be hungry. So the more I think about it, I want that plus 300 in my pocket for Western Conference. And I probably want plus 600 for the championship too, because I can decide if I want to hedge when we get there or if I want to, like last year, I had the Celtics to win championship and the Warriors to win the championship. And I just put the money from the Celtics on the Warriors because that's who I thought was going to win. I want to be in one of those positions,
This is the future guy right here. I ain't going to lie. Mr. Party Guy, a.k.a. when it comes to this shit. I mean, how many future tickets did you cash? I remember. You came on last year.
I had a good year.
Sure.
And in the finals, it was just like easy coast. Like, you didn't even have to bet the goddamn games damn near. So
that's what I like to do, man.
Yeah.
I gained a little bit over 23 units last year in the future, so I like those two
for
the West. And then for the East, I'm gonna tell you, I don't feel as confident on this, but I'm gonna tell you what I came to a conclusion.
The East is kind of boo-boo. It's like a back where you're like, fuck, do I even want to touch it? God damn.
It's wide open.
I mean, people are so high on the Sixers. I want to know, go ahead, Skee, but
Well, y'all know who I'm not betting. I'm not betting the Celtics. they do not deserve to be the favorite. So it just comes down to, we got to beat the favorite. Who is it going to be? And I look at the Sixers. My question marks there are, can Embiid stay healthy? Because he's one guy who's very injury prone. And is Harden trustworthy in the playoffs? And my answer is no.
Hell no.
I'm looking at the Bucks plus 325 just to save the suspense. But I've seen them sweep the Heat in the playoffs already. And I'm looking at what teams can actually defend Giannis, which teams have paint protection in there, And the only team that really, they got to avoid Cleveland. Cleveland's going to be that scary team. And, they got the trees. Like, if they run into a matchup with Cleveland, I can see them maybe getting knocked out. But outside of that, and obviously if Robert Williams comes back, he can help out too. But we're not high on Celtics. You add Ingles, think that gives you an offensive boost. Middleton, he's only going to miss the first couple of weeks. He did miss the last 10 playoff games,
Right.
They could have still did better in the playoffs if he was there. You got the best player in the East, and he's always available. In my opinion, this team has the most chemistry and the most experience in the East as far as winning. So it makes the most sense, in my opinion, to take the Bucks plus 325 to win the East. And I don't know if y'all want to comment on that, but I have.
How you gonna say all that about the Bucks and not even talk about your guy Drew, man? Come on, man.
Hey, you know what he do?
He looked locked in. He looked ready to go. I know that. I like what I see from him in a little brief preseason stint. So yeah, I think that it's the Bucks, man. I do believe. I like the Ingles. I didn't touch on that. That's the one guy they got, but they got guys that are gonna come to play basketball. They had the best in the player. I think Middleton is gonna be out to prove a little bit too after last year kind of falling low. So I completely agree. But I don't like the Bucks when it comes playoff time, So we're talking regular season. I'm with it. But watch out for them Cavs, man. Watch out for them Cavs because I do believe they're going to be bought in. Very, very important to me is LeVert has to come off the bench. It's not enough ball. It's all about fits. LeVert, best shape of his life. Looks like he's ready to go. He got to be on the bench, though, man, because there's not enough ball to go around. You need a 3-and-D. You want to bring Okoro. You want to bring Osman. Bring one of those guys in. It's all about health, obviously. Those two big trees are going to make a big fucking difference, though, man. Brooklyn probably kicks herself every fucking day of the week getting rid of Jared Allen. That guy is a basketball player. He's someone you want to play with. Donovan Mitchell will love this motherfucker. Garland, Mitchell, elite backcourt. If Mitchell buys in, they can get LeVert off the bench. That kind of vibes they got going over there in Cleveland that we seen last year. Cavs are a bet on team for me. Absolutely.
I got one more pick in there, and
go ahead.
One more thing I left off. The other, it was between two teams for me to win the East, and I didn't even mention the other one. The other one is the Nets, and that's just because I didn't pick them because I still don't think they have the rim protection in the series versus Giannis to, I think they can keep up offensively, but I just don't think they can stop them. So where I think we can play the Nets and make money is to win the division. Because you already know we fading the Celtics, and last season they got embarrassed, bro. They got embarrassed. Kyrie, he's talking about it. He's like, it might have been meant to happen like that. It's motivation, bro. We needed that humbling experience. Now everybody's gonna be focused. It was a stretch last season where KD missed some time, and that team lost like 10 games in a row. We know Kyrie only played halftime. They had the Harden drama. Joe Harris was hurt. Seth Curry was only there for half of the season. And this team is deep. They got Cam Thomas, who's a bucket, veteran guard, Patty Mills, and we'll see what TJ Warren can contribute as well. And I just like the way the rosters contribute. At the same time, when I say, I don't know if they can stop Giannis in the playoffs, like that small ball five, the death lineup kind of deal like the Warriors are doing, they could do that with Ben Simmons at the 5. So I just think it's a lot of ways for this team to win. I think they're focused and motivated. And at plus 230, this is the team I picked to beat the favorite.
Yeah, I think it comes down real quick. I just want to touch on it because I'm super high on Brooklyn. I think you're going to get what you get out of Ben. I think KD's, take a look at him at MVP's fucking pissed off, right? I think KD, but it comes down to Kyrie Irving, man. Kyrie's bought in on both ends of the floor. If he's bought in on playing 82 games of NBA basketball, man, come on, watch out for Brooklyn this year. That's a big if, though. That's a big if, right, Ram? Big if.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn is going to be good. I think the first 20 games is going to be tough. They got 8 at the house, and then they have 5 back-to-backs. It's going to be pretty tough, and then you're also going to miss out on Joe Harris and the other shooter and Steph Curry. So I'm looking forward to seeing Defensive Player of the Year Ben Simmons, though. I did put that in the chat. I think that's the closest thing that I'm going to play as far as that prop, as far as Defensive Player of the Year. He'll be the only person that's on my ticket outside of maybe AD. If I see him healthy in the first few weeks, I might make that official there as well. But I think Ben Simmons got a clear chance of being one of those guys. He showed a little bit of playing good defense against Giannis in the preseason. I know it's preseason, but I liked his way he was looking. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's the defensive player that they need because they were terrible on the rebounds last year. We know they were not that good down low. If he's that guy that they needed just to keep everything afloat as far as on that side of the ball, because last year it was KD guarding Giannis. Now it's Ben Simmons. I think that's definitely a boost for that team. So I agree with you guys on that. And then also I want to add as well on the Pelicans, man. Like, bro, I'm really high on the Pelicans, bro. Like, I'm really high. I think they could possibly win a division. I think that Zion is obviously, on a low sugar diet with David Griffin. He did mention that shed all the weight, what I'm saying? Slim, fast, slim Zion Williamson. And then, I love my boy Herb Jones, year 2 Herb Jones. I can only think of him being another defensive player, possibly being one of those defensive colleges of the team. I really like this team. Trey Murphy as well coming off the bench. Those guys are going to have a force. And I think Willie Green as well. I know we're going to talk about a little bit on the awards segment, but I think he has a good shot as well. So winning Coach of the Year. So I'm really high on the Pelicans.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to some award props, quick hitter in the next segment before we wrap up. My futures, well, I hope you're ready to take notes. Get your pencils and paper out or your type or whatever. Type them down. We got a bunch we're going to rhyme off for you. So we've heard cases for Brooklyn in the Atlantic and in the East. I'm going to make my case for Philly. Believe it or not, plus 300 to win the division and to win the East and to win the title. I think PJ Tucker is a huge addition. You got someone with a junkyard dog mentality, some attitude, defense. They needed some of that. Philadelphia, that's going to help them out big time. You're not going to cry and shed any tears over Danny Green being gone, among others. You didn't lose anybody that's going to be detrimental to your basketball team. I think you're better now with Tucker. It's going to complement them. Again, Harden's an enigma. We know that, but there's questions about mental cases on Brooklyn too. I mean, we love Katie and Kyrie's talent, but are they going to be locked in mentally? We'll see. They sound like they might be, but I got to see it before I believe it. Same with Nash from a coaching standpoint. The defense too for Brooklyn, I got to see it. So I'm going Philadelphia. Sixers to win that Atlantic division, plus 300 and to win the East and the title. Central division, Bucks probably should win it. Although I do think if you want to take a shot, beat the favorite, Cleveland plus 340. I don't hate that. But at the end of the day, I still think Milwaukee's probably winning that division. I think Denver's winning the Northwest division, but I'm not going to lay $140. I don't love laying prices, but I think Denver does win that division, even though Minnesota probably gives them a battle. I'm on the Clippers, clip joint to win that division. South in the Pacific Division, plus 210. I know Golden State still, when they've got everybody accounted for, as good as it gets. I've got issues with Phoenix. I don't like the way they flamed out last year, and then there's some rift going on with DeAndre Ayton. It took a shit ton of getting them on board with matching the offer sheet from Indiana for DeAndre Ayton. So, how does that sit with everybody? And this Clippers team, look, we got to give Ty Lue a little love, right? Last year, I mean, he had so many Kawhi out all year, and that Clippers team still made a nice little run there in the playoffs and had a good season overall. And now you've got Kawhi back. You've got basically all hands on deck. You've got depth at every position. I love the roster. Reggie Jackson. You got John Wall now, who's still got something in the tank, motivated now on a good team. Paul George, Norman Powell, a great backup shooting guard. Kawhi's healthy again. You got Kennard, Marcus Morris, Nicola Batum, Zubats down low, Covington. I mean, you got depth at every position, Clippers, and you need that if you're going to be successful. So I do like the Clippers to win the division and also the West and the title. Southeast Division, I'm going. I know Miami minus 190, but I think Miami might take a little step back this year. I'm looking at those, and I'm going to try to do it. Atlanta Hawks. I can't do it. The voice won't allow me, but there you go. Atlanta Hawks to win that division. I like the DeJounte Murray edition. I don't think there'll be chemistry problems. I think it'll work with him and Trae Young in Atlanta. I really do. And I think that Atlanta team is going to be right on the heels of Miami in that division. So I like the value at plus in that plus 200 range, plus 225 in some spots. Atlanta in the Southeast division. Southwest division, Wham hit on it. Memphis, obviously, with is still going to be very good. Obviously, no question about that. You've got Dallas, of course, with Luka. You can't fault. They certainly could win that division, although I'm a little more skeptical. I think they're going to miss. I know Dutch still loves Dallas, but I think they're going to miss Jalen Brunson. And I worry, what if Luka gets hurt? What if Spencer Dinwiddie gets hurt? Where's your offense? Who's going to score for Dallas if those two guys get injured? So that's the one. They got to stay healthy, because if they stay healthy, that is a good team. But I don't think they've got the offensive depth. So that's the concern with Dallas. I'm going with the small flyer on the Pelicanos at plus 400. To win that division, the Southwest division, and beat Memphis and Dallas for that division. So I'm going to go with that, the Pelicans. And I also have futures on them, believe it or not, but more on the division, because I don't think they're winning the West or the title, but I think they can win that division, surprise at plus 400. So there you go. Those are some of the futures for me.
Quick question for you, Bobano, regarding the Atlanta Hawks. Your bird call. I'm not too high on them, to be quite honest. So I wasn't too high on them last year. I'm not too high on that little motherfucker Trey. So I want to know, to the panel, we'll start with you, of course, and in the chat too.
Yeah, let's talk about Atlanta then.
Who's the better point guard now? Because to me, I mean, you got two ball dominant motherfuckers. Give me Murray all motherfucking day over Trey's little ass. I want who's the better player And you see it working out. I don't see it working out too well. I think Trey's going to get exploited a little bit. Might exploited on the defensive end, and might really see that he's not so prolific as much as Mr. Murray is, because he can do a lot of things that Trey can't, in my opinion.
I wouldn't argue with that. I love DeJounte Murray's game. DeJounte Murray kept the Spurs afloat for a big part of last year. Without him, I mean, that's an even worse team last year. You take him off it. And speaking of the Spurs, they're going to be dreadful. They're going to be absolutely dreadful. They're rebuilding their San Antonio. So I hate to say that for our Pub Sports Radio home base, but long year coming up. The San Antonio
says it's Trey's team, huh? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. If it's the end of the game, last few minutes, give me the Trey with the ball at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna disregard. He is ice cold, but his ass is definitely getting highlighted on the defensive end too. You know, that fucker is a liability on the defense, and he takes an awful lot of bad shots as well. But yeah, man, he's proven Skee that he does make the big shot. I'll give you that.
There you go. All right, great analysis there. All right, let's get into. I believe I've seen the award markets here. Let me just bring these up here. We've got a bunch of them here. Yes, here we go. Lots of regular season awards. Let's go with a regular season MVP first. Is there anything that is anyone interested here? Lucas plus 450, Embiid 5-1. Giannis 5 plus 550, Durant 10-1, Jokic 10-1, Tatum 12-1, Curry 13-1, John Morant 14-1, Kawhi is back, he's 18-1, LeBron 18, Zion 20, Devin Booker 28, Anthony Davis 40, Lillard 40. I'm trying to look and see where he is here on this list, but you talk about a long shot, but down the board, 125-1 if he's healthy, Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
I mean, is he going to win it? No,
I don't think he's going to win it with Joker though. But
that's the thing.
I'm not mad at that. We got 130 motherfuckers in here though right now. So everyone, if you would hit the motherfucking like button, please do that at this time. We need to run it up. Let everyone know we're back Monday through Friday, 4 Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Billy motherfucking Brisbane in the building. I see you, my man. I love Luka the Don at plus 450. I love that look. I mean, he's ball dominant. He's going to be the guy. It's about his fucking time, right? So when is he can win these games in the regular season enough, it should be his award. People like a lot of juicy money. So I mean, KD at 10-1. You know, I mean, goddamn, you know. That I mean, if he's out with the vengeance, bro, he is fucking pissed. All right, he got shitted on all year. The trade rumors, all this shit. Nobody loves basketball more than Kevin Durant. Nobody's more talented than Kevin Durant. So if he's bought in for 82, stays healthy, and this Brooklyn team does what me and my guy Skee seem to think they are, I believe Wham Bam as well. I think, man, that's some value right there. It's KD or Luka, in my opinion.
There you go, KD or Luka for that MVP prop. And I'll give out sixth man of the year. We nailed it with Tyler Hero last year. I'm going to go obviously different this year. Poole is the favorite. He's got a good chance. I don't hate it, but I don't never like betting the favorite. I like Powell and I like Bones Highland. I like Norm Powell for the Clippers and I like Bones Highland. Those are the two with the value that I like. Powell 11-1, Bones Highland's around 22-1 for sixth man of the year. Those are the two I'm riding my train to this year with the sixth man of the year with that. All right. I know, Wham, you prepared some awards props that you like. What do you like?
Yeah, so I'm taking 2 stabs on coach of the year. I agree with you. I think Ty Lue is one of the best elite coaches in the league, and I think they're going to have a lot of regular season success. Maybe not against my Lakers, but I think they are going to have success this year, and I think Ty Lue is going to continue to orchestrate, try to figure out that small ball lineup. He's saying that he's going to keep Zubac out the lineup. You know, he's going to take him out pretty quickly in the first quarter. So they're probably going to play a lot of Rocco at the 5, a lot of other guys that's going to be integrated into the lineup. Our guy, Amir Coffey, as well. I think that the Clippers are going to be good. So I think that Ty Lue at plus 1,200 is a pretty good look for coach of the year. Don't get me wrong. I think Taylor Jenkins is possibly one of those guys that's going to consistently be one of those favorites. I just think that the team is so constructed well, you're probably not going to give so much credit to him as you would as a Ty Lue or the next guy that I'm going to talk about. Next guy, it's going to be Willie Green. I think that the New Orleans Pelicans is going to be really good, and a lot of that has to do with what we've seen him do in the playoffs last year. Sometimes they kind of have a little bias on what they seen last year and kind of bring it into this season. So I'm hoping that happens with Willie Green. I think Willie Green will be really good for this team this year, along with this team just having an identity on the defensive side of the ball. So that is going to kind of set them apart of a lot of teams, and then continue to go crazy in the paint, having their number one points in the paint guy come back in Zion. So I think that this team is going to be depending on Zion's health as well, as far as this pick with Willie Green. But I think if Zion's available, healthy, I think Willie Green is going to be one of those guys, along with Ty Lue, at that top 3 spot. So I think I at least have 2 of the top 3 in at the end of the season. And I think we have a good shot of catching both. So plus 11800 for Willie Green and plus 1200 for Ty Lue for Coach of the Year. Those are my 2 stabs there.
All right, good stuff. I'll throw out a couple more. I'm with you on Willie Green. I like that. I think it's worth a bet for Coach of the Year. And Lou, I'm going to throw out a couple other coaches. Great prices: Bickerstaff and McMillan. I'm going to go with those 2. Bickerstaff for Cleveland, great price there at for 16, 18 to 1, and McMillan at 22 to 1 for Atlanta. A couple more Coach of the Year. Bam for Defensive Player of the Year at plus 700 for Miami. I'll go with that. Most Improved Player award. I'm going with a guy. Wham's going to be blown away because he loves this guy. He's mentioned this guy a bunch. Ty Halliburton. Yeah, that's right. Ty Halliburton. 10 to 1, Most Improved Player of the Year for me. I'm taking a shot with that. Get away from a loser's organization. Get away from that toxic culture and that toxic environment. You're going to go be somewhere now where you can thrive a little bit. Things are going to at least go a little bit better from a team success perspective. So 10 to 1, Ty Halliburton, Most Improved Player
Ben
of the Year.
Simmons, Most Improved. Yeah, man.
Oh boy! Wow.
I don't even know what the number is. I didn't look it up and shit. I like it.
I haven't seen his name out there, but that'll be a good one, though.
Yeah,
I think that's a good one.
And I'll throw a few out for Rookie of the Year. I'm going to try to fade Banchero, quite honestly, and go somewhere else. I'm thinking Jaden Ivey, who I mentioned with the Pistons, 5 to 1. I think Benedict Mathurin, and it's not just because he's Canadian, which, he's a good Canadian player, but no, he's going to be really good. Benedict Mathurin. I saw this guy a ton at Arizona last year. He was a great scorer. I think he's worth a look at 7 to 1, Rookie of the Year. And I'd go down the board as well with maybe Ochai Agbaji, 33 to 1, or even Johnny Davis, 40 to 1, if you really want to get down the board a little bit for some value for Rookie of the Year. So there you go, a few more. Anyone else want to add anything for awards?
I will add that I'm very close of. I'm really sure I'm going to be on Keegan Murray to be Rookie of the Year before Christmas. I think that's going to be my spot. I really like the Sacramento Kings as well. I think that's another team that kind of constructed themselves top to bottom pretty well. So Keegan Murray should be seeing a nice bulk load of the minutes, about 25 plus. Is what they're kind of predicting out there. So I think that's going to be a good look. And I do agree with O'Shea, man. I think that's a sleeper one that he might be getting a lot of run out there in Thunder.
There we go. Exactly. Thunder are going to have a tough year. Doesn't mean Ochai Agbaji, though, can't have a really big year in his first year in the NBA. No question about that. All right, we're going to wrap up the show in just a couple minutes. It's so good to be back, and we're here Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, NBA Pub Hub. Thanks to everyone in the chat, 123 live viewers. Hit that like button. Let's go if you haven't done so already. We appreciate it. It's a season preview show, and don't hold us to any of these predictions we're about to give you, but we have to give you an NBA Finals prediction and an NBA champion right here, right now. We may look back on this and say, what were we thinking? But that's the fun of doing it. Let's start with you, Skee. NBA Finals, who's in it, and who is your champion this season?
I'm not doing it for fun. I'm doing it to, put some money in my pocket. So the one team I already talked about on the West, who we don't have any questions. We know what we're going to get. We know, what everybody's on that team on the roster last year. The Warriors, you're getting 6 to 1. It's easy call. They're going to be there. I don't see any other team knocking them out. So you decide what to do with that ticket once they make it. And who they're going to face, if I have to pick right now, it's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks, because they're the one team that's proved themselves.
There you go. Milwaukee, Golden State. With who is your champion if you had to pick?
Warriors.
Going to repeat, says Skee Profit, over the Bucks in the NBA. You know what's good for you know what Milwaukee's got on their side this year? I'm lukewarm. I'm neutral on Milwaukee, win or lose. I'm not on them or against them, but they've got the fire in their belly back, right? They had the championship a couple of years ago, and maybe they got a little content, but now they didn't get they got bounced last year. Maybe they want that winning feeling back again, Milwaukee. So we'll see if that fuels them to a big season ahead for Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, Dutch, NBA Finals. Who do you think is in it, and who is your champion?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Boston, Nick. I see my man Harold Williams in the motherfucking building. I see you, man. Everybody hit that motherfucking like button. Hey, but it is what it is. I agree with my man Ski. Warriors plus 600. Probably the motherfucking play. I think it's going to be the Warriors and the motherfucking Brooklyn Nets. I do believe it's going to be the Brooklyn motherfucking Nets. That's right. I think it's the NBA. They want the show. Come on. What's a better show? The Brooklyn Nets, the motherfucking Milwaukee Bucks, man. Hey, Brooklyn and Golden State. And you already know, I hate to say it. But it will be the Warriors, man. They're going to come out to play, and they will get paid year-round. If they stay healthy, it's the Warriors' chip. I believe so. Now, then we can start talking dynasty, Ski. All right?
All right, there we go. Dutch there with his NBA Finals and NBA Championship prediction. Golden State as well, like with Skee, but Brooklyn to be the opponent.
I'll be rooting for Brooklyn like a motherfucker too, but my money most likely, is probably gonna be invested in the Warriors because I don't see the Warriors. I think they got better, and man, I think Clay's gonna be even better, which is scary to me. Like that team is gonna be even better all around, and Clay's gonna come back even better. So I think he didn't play very well last year. He had his moments, but I know Klay Thompson wants to play a lot better. So that's a scary thing in my opinion.
All right, there it is. Great stuff from Dutch. All right, Wham Bam, NBA Finals. Who is in it for the East and the West, and who's your NBA champion?
Yeah, it seems like I got a little connection issue here, but I'm gonna say go out the limb. I think the regular season is going to translate to the playoffs. I think the 76ers going to get to the finals. They're probably going to lose to the Warriors. So I'll agree with you guys. I think the Warriors, as of right now, as everything's constructed, they're the clear-cut favorite right now.
There you go. All right. Wham Bam's Finals and champion prediction. I'm going to go a little different. All this Golden State love, Brooklyn love, Milwaukee love, teams that are loaded and we've won it before recently. I'm going Clippers and Sixers for my NBA Finals. That's right. Clippers and Sixers. Little off the board. This coach, Ty Lue, did a great job with pieces missing left and right. He gets some of these, if he can keep these guys healthy, pace themselves. I mean, you do have George and Leonard getting older. They don't have to play all 82 games. Manage their minutes. Make sure they're fresh for the NBA Finals. For the playoffs, rather. So I'm going to go Clippers and Sixers. I mean, we're strapping our bandwagon to two teams that Doc Rivers couldn't lead yet to NBA championships, but we're going to go with Clippers and Sixers. I'm going to go Clippers, NBA champion. I think it's wide open. I almost used Denver, honestly. Denver came close. I almost used Denver as my Western Conference representative in the NBA Finals. They would be my second choice in the West, but I went with Clippers. I just can't get over the depth. I can't get over the depth they have at every position. Every position they have quality depth. So if they suffer injuries, they're okay. And that matters to me. So there we go. Clippers and Sixers with Clippers being your NBA champion. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that. So franchise hasn't done anything, but
what are you going to say? You going to say he's cutting up?
you know damn well he's cutting up.
There it is.
Oh, shit. Hey, I ain't going to lie. That team is just so fucking loaded, though. But I still look at it and think, man, you realize
Clippers going Clip.
Yes.
I can't do it, But yeah, I agree. They're loaded as fuck. They're nice, man. They got two starting fives, realistically. They really do. They still don't got a point guard, but they got two starting fives.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Clippers under.
Clippers under. There you go. So we've got one guy who likes Clippers under their win total, and I like Clippers to win the West, to win the division, win the.
I mean, Bo Jackson right here. I was about to say a lot of people high on Kawhi, coming back, and they expect him to do big things, but I got to see it first. Kawhi is elite, but I got to see it first.
Man, how many games he played since he been a Clipper?
Yeah,
less than
we're
80.
talking about health. Yeah, we're talking about Kawhi. I think is still one of the best going. But again, he's got to be able to show he can bounce back from this setback that he's had with the injuries. But again, this to me is West, and why I went with the Clippers, because Suns flawed. Jazz flawed. You go on, or Jazz aren't going to be close, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of West teams. Denver, I like. Denver, I almost use, but I think every team in that Western Conference, there's some kind of flaw. I like the Warriors. They're great, but they won it last year. Are they going to fire back strong this year? I don't know. Suns, like I said, flawed. Lakers, flawed. Mavericks, flawed. Grizzlies, flawed. Minnesota, are they ready? I'm not so sure. Pelicans are going to be much improved, but are they ready to be title contenders? No.
Minnesota's an interesting team to me, man. They really are. To me, I can't. I think they'll win a lot of basketball games, but then again, you're relying on D'Angelo Russell as your point to control that whole damn situation over there. I don't know. I don't know if I can count on that when it counts.
No.
Not to rain on anyone's parade, but I just got a premonition that I think that they're going to face either the Clippers are going to face either the Pelicans or the Timberwolves in the first round. Those are terrible matchups. Big guys down low that's going to be able to bang down there, get rebounds. I think that's going to be tough for them. They might not get out the first round.
Yeah, Minnesota, look, they got the stopper now, Rudy Gobert, there as well, to help them out defensively. That will help Minnesota. Minnesota's a fascinating team. I mean, if Gobert, because Gobert sometimes doesn't have these games where he's as good, and then sometimes he takes the night off. But we know when he's locked in playing that defense, he's going to make that, and they need that. The Timberwolves, that was their downfall last year.
I'll tell you one thing.
Nice pieces too. Go ahead.
If the Clippers play the Mavericks, I know y'all remember Luka Debo.
Yeah.
They're not getting past the Mavericks.
Nah, they got their way with it, man. I'm telling anyone that plays the Mavericks, really except for the Warriors, watch out. Plus 2,500 is nice, but there's a reason why it's that. In my opinion, on the Mavericks. But you never know what could happen. But I definitely think if the Warriors stay healthy, they're loaded, and they got
great.
Wiseman back too, so
yep.
he looks to be the part. So I think they'll be all right. Because that's one thing I definitely question is their bigs. They're counting on Looney, Draymond. I do like Looney in there over what we were talking about last playoff season. Obviously, you need somebody out there to get a fucking rebound. But they definitely need Wiseman out there. I think that they'll benefit from him.
There we go. So we've got that's what's great. We have lots of different opinions. What I like about the NBA now is it's not like it used to be 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. We've got basically, a lot more parity now. Like there's like 5 or 6 or 7 teams in the East that could actually come out of the East, at least 3 or 4 or 5. And you could absolutely say the same thing about the West this year as well. So it's going to make for a fascinating, exciting NBA season. We can't wait to tip it off with our day-by-day game breakdowns and analysis on the show, which will start tomorrow. So make sure you join us tomorrow, 4:00 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow, Dutch will host the show, and he will be joined by Wham and Durrell tomorrow on the Tuesday edition of the Pub Hub. So make sure you join Dutch, Wham, and Durrell tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and they will break down the 2 opening night doubleheader games taking place to open the season. Philadelphia, Boston, LA Lakers, Golden State Warriors tomorrow night. Join Dutch, Wham, and Durrell, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow for the NBA Pub Hub to break it down. Skee will be back on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be back Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So, and we are back. We're happy to be here for the NBA Pub Hub for another season. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button on the way out for Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, TROT Wham. I'm Ian Cameron. Thanks for watching our NBA season preview edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. And for the first time this season, Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Dan Kelly, Matt Stoney, Hold My Beer, Alex G, Emily E, everyone in the chat, man. Like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's start putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.